Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and please help me on my new role as moderator. It's a pleasure to have Spain 5, France 1 in here. So it's almost a Spanish solo type of deal, but it is my pleasure to be hosting this panel with plenty of all-time friends. So on my left is Adolfo Barra. Adolfo is now the Chief Commercial Officer of LaLiga. He's been working his background is always in football for a lot of time. He's been working for different clubs, including Espanyol, Real Sociedad, and many other projects. So welcome to this panel, Adolfo. Mario Bayarri is the Vice President of MediaPro for Middle East and Asia, and also with a large background in the football industry, including many roles in not just football, but also basketball and running now all the Asia business for LaLiga. Next is Philippe Lefloc, also an all-time friend, Managing Director of LaLiga International Marketing, which we will learn more about later on. Of course, most of you will know Philippe from his background as Marketing Director at UEFA in the past. And then is Fernando Sanz. Fernando is the country manager for Middle East and North Africa of LaLiga. Probably you also know him from his background on the pitch, including having played for Real Madrid in a while and having his dad being president of the club. And last but not least, we have Sergi Torrent. Sergi Torrent is a big expert in China. When I used to work for Barcelona, we were doing already business together at the time. He's been around China, I think, for 11 years. And Sergi is now the general manager or the country manager for LaLiga in China. So all in all, as a Spanish sports executive, very proud of realizing about this expansion of LaLiga. So we'll take this panel to learn more about this ambitious plan that LaLiga has. We had the president of LaLiga last night with some of the ideas, but the very first thing that we will do is to get Adolfo giving us more details about this ambitious plan that LaLiga has globally. So I'll pass the word to Adolfo.
So thanks, Tebe, for the introduction. Good afternoon. For those of you who were not here yesterday, we had President Tebas of LaLiga explaining about our plans for the future. He and the management team that is on this panel joined LaLiga 2.5 years ago, and one of our key projects was centralized TV deal sales from LaLiga. So we're the only big league in Europe where the clubs sold the rights on their own. So the Spanish government ruled in May that LaLiga will have those rights to sell to the clubs and then split the revenues. And we have been going through very intense 6-7 weeks of sales process, which has been very, very successful. We believe that for next season, we will have doubled the income, would be on 1.5 billion euros income as regards of TV rights, which is a big, very good number, but we still have a lot to do to catch up with the Premier League. Tebas was explaining yesterday that we have a risk of the Premiership being too strong financially, that they would be able to pay the best clubs to come over here, to become sort of the NBA, and we don't want that. Our key project is to multiply the value of our TV rights. In that sense, we explained yesterday that our growth area is outside Spain. I mean, our market is a saturated market, and we believe that if we are to go over 2 billion and more, it comes from international. And the role of the people on this panel is to, from the marketing side, help bringing value to LaLiga. We want to do a small introduction on how we plan to do that, and then we open up for the rest of the panel. This is just some information about viewers, audience globally. As you can see in the screen, last season we had more than 1.2 billion viewers worldwide. It's a good figure, still a bit behind the Premiership, but we plan to grow that, and we'll explain that in a minute. And looking into the map, we as LaLiga are very, very strong in Latin America. We're very strong in Europe, and very strong in Middle East and North Africa. Those territories, I would say, we're leading in terms of audience. There are two territories, or two big territories, which are North America and Southeast Asia, where we have a lot of work to do, a little bit of catching up, as you guys say. And our plans internationally is obviously to keep our strongholds, but focus on those markets where we can grow a lot. And this is basically Southeast Asia and North America. So what we have done in LaLiga from the marketing side, when we got into the position 2.5 years ago, we analyzed what LaLiga had as a marketing entity. And we as a company had very, very little things to offer to our sponsors and to our partners. So what we did, we looked into the market, and most of the rights were either on the club side or on third parties. So we did the first step of talking to most of the Spanish clubs, where LaLiga bought assets from them to sell centralized, which has been very, very successful. And then on the other side, our biggest player in terms of media and rights in Spain was and is MediaPro, represented here by Mario Bayarri. We have a good relation with MediaPro from LaLiga since many years, and we decided to join efforts together. So we joined LaLiga, image, and association rights to the real rights that MediaPro hold it, which is, as you see in the next slide, they have perimeter advertising rights from most of the clubs of the first division, audiovisual rights, image rights. So all that in a cocktail, we believe was and is a great platform for sponsors and partners globally. So once we have the product that we are building together with MediaPro, we need to look at the structure. So how does LaLiga go global, go and talk to the markets, go and talk to the broadcasters, to the sponsors? And we had a discussion at the time where, are we going to go do that with our own people? So will we hire 50 people, put them in different places worldwide, or do we look for different models? We decided to do otherwise. We believed at the time, and we still believe it now, that the best way to enter markets is with the experts of those markets. So we basically looked, we took two countries or two territories as a test, which were China and Middle East, where we found the right local partner with the right connections, the right people, and we've been very, very successful. So what we've done over the last 5 months is look for the right global partner. So we've been talking to quite some agencies over the last 6 months about our project. We have listened to the different offers, and we are concluding an agreement with one of those global agencies, which I cannot announce here, but in a few weeks we will announce publicly. So this agency has a global reach, has offices all over the world, connections to the biggest brands, to all the broadcasters, and they're going to help us in this program. But then we also analyze what do we need to do from LaLiga side, because we cannot rely on third party to do everything for us. And we decided that it was very, very important to have a structure dedicated 100% to this project. Because so far it's been myself, Mario, with some people helping around, building up together. But now it's time, if we're serious, to have the right structure. So for that, we have put this team together. It's led by Philippe Lefloc, as Esteban said. It's a pleasure to have him on board. He built a Champions League model. I mean, when we speak about football and the model we want to get to is Champions League. So what would be best than having the guy that put it together to do it for LaLiga. So Philippe is going to join, has joined already LaLiga International to lead the group. And then I'm not going to go through all the positions, but basically we have a team with a marketing area, sponsoring area, very important area which is led by Fernando Sanz, which is looking after international development programs as well as relationships with governments. And we have offices in Middle East and China, the one in Middle East run by Fernando, and China run by Sergi. And we will open in offices in New York and Johannesburg within the next 3-4 months. And we're looking into possibly Southeast Asia and Latin America. So those offices will work with our global agency to develop the global market. I will just make a small explanation on, we took quite some time together to identify how to enter a market. So we as La Liga, when we go to a market, what do we do? And so we talk to stakeholders, we talk to governments, we talk to leagues, federations, sponsors, and we came up with a very clear strategy, which are three key points. Point number one is we're there to help our broadcasters. I mean, they are our main sponsors, by far. And the money we get from broadcasting, we don't get from any sponsor by miles. So we want to put together a structure to make sure we deliver what they need in terms of timetable of games, special content for increased audience, promotion for viewers, etc. So that's very, very important for us, and it's a focus that La Liga is going to have a friendly approach to our broadcasters. Then point number two, we believe that going into any country in the world with an arrogant attitude as in, we are La Liga, we are the best league in the world, we tell you how to do things, is wrong. It's the wrong approach. We're talking to the countries in a friendly manner. We want to help develop football in those markets. We want the local leagues and local federation to grow. We want to help with football development programs, training program for coaches, etc., to be seen as the football friend Liga in the market. Because if football grows in that market, the local league will grow, and obviously we will grow as a Liga on their back. And then last but not least, obviously we need to have a plan, marketing and sales plan that Mario will explain in a minute, where all the strategies, all the objectives are clearly set, and that we work towards that for the next 3-4 years. Because our goal, as President said, in 3-4 years, is to lead globally in terms of viewers, and there is a lot to do from our side on that one. It's on increasing audience, just a small touch on that. We different to other leagues established already 2 years ago what we call a multi-kickoff strategy that we've explained already in a couple of presentations. We make sure that every weekend there are relevant games for the relevant territories. Games in Europe late at night, like 8, 9, 10, are great for Latin America and the US because their local leagues start later. So it's very important to have a relevant game from 8 to 10 on Saturdays, and we make sure that that happens. And then for Southeast Asia, obviously, we had a problem in the past because our best games were late evening or late afternoon in Spain, which meant 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning in Southeast Asia, China, Japan, etc. And our viewers were really, really low. We have made sure that we have games on Saturday and Sunday in the morning at 12, 4 and 5 o'clock, which is a good time for Southeast Asia. And I'm going to show you just an example of one country. This is something we did with Sergi and President Tebas and myself and Mario. We made an agreement with CCTV, the main TV station in China. We offer that La Liga will host every Saturday at 4 o'clock a relevant game of once a month of Real Madrid, FC Barcelona, Atletico de Madrid, and whichever team was playing for Champions League to make sure there was a relevant game, in exchange of CCTV giving us priority on that slot, which was 10 o'clock at night on Saturday, summertime, and then 11 o'clock on winter because they don't change the time. And in 1 year, from being number 2 with 147 million audience, we've gone to be number 1 with almost 40% increase. So this shows that working closer with the broadcaster, understanding their needs and what they demand from us, we can really get to that target that I just explained. And then, as I said, La Liga International Marketing is going to have a dedicated team to serve the needs of the broadcasters. We're going to talk to them on, as I said, providing content, special interviews, promotions, etc. And also, it's very important because, as you all know, the world is becoming digital, There are a lot of rights that are not within the broadcasters for digital that are free, and there are off-match content like interviews and any other things that we can provide from the league perspective, where we're looking into finding the right digital partner in each country to increase our audience. So there will be a balance between the live games with the official broadcaster and that specific content for digital as a way of growing our audience. And then we have a special mention on international football development programs. And this is an area that probably Fernando will explain in more detail later. We believe this is one key for our success. If we are seen as the league that helps developing football in those markets, we will sure win the battle in the future. I'm just going to explain briefly 4 projects that we are now currently running. In Latin America, we have created a CSR program with 5 different countries. Among those are Mexico, Panama, Honduras, and Colombia, where we from LaLiga support specific projects that each government or country is running in terms of integrating people which have problems with drugs, unemployment, and so on, through football programs. And obviously, we don't dictate what the countries need to do in terms of CSR, but we support from the football side and image, using our players to promote those programs, because especially in Latin America, there are a lot of Latinos obviously playing in La Liga, from Colombia, Mexico, Peru, and we want to use our stars to support those specific programs in the countries. So that's something which is running as we speak. In China, and I guess when Steva opens the panel, Sergio will explain in more detail. You know, the Chinese government has made a big move to push football. Now it's mandatory in the school, and there is a pilot program where 160 coaches from outside China are being brought into the country to train the trainers. So their coaches are sent there to be placed in the schools to teach the teachers how to teach football. So from that program, we have got 25% of the coaches. We're sending in 4 weeks, if I'm not wrong, 40 coaches to China. We have been recruiting over summer, and they're like the first people going to run this program. And if this is successful, it's going to grow in a massive scale, because we will be providing more coaches for this program. Then in Middle East, we have done an agreement, different agreements with leagues and federations, but I want to explain one which is very important. With the Abu Dhabi Sports Council, we're going to start in October a pilot program to develop football in the education in the schools. So from the 220 schools in the Emirate, we are going to start a program with 12 schools, and if that is successful, we will be running with the Ministry of Education schooling football programs throughout the country, with coaches, with organizing the league, the competition, the talent identification, and that this is really big for us. And then last but not least, in the US, which I said is a very important market for La Liga, we have made an agreement with the US Club Soccer. It's an organization that runs youth leagues in more than 22 states, and those leagues are played by almost 1 million young kids, in men and women, boys and girls in the US, where we are helping them with coaching education, with talent identification, and this is going to help us establish ourselves, our brand in that area in the US. I'm going to pass on to Mario, who's going to explain the marketing and sales plan that we put together.
So very briefly, basically the main challenges and opportunities we're seeing in La Liga's international development, what we're looking for, and how we're planning to do so. The main challenges of a program like this is first thing is to measure audience. We speak about 1.2 billion, Premier League speaks about 2 billion, sometimes 3 billion. First thing we need to do, we need to have hard facts. And hard facts, people talk always about TV audience, but today we have to talk about digital audience. We have to talk about, because consumers are reaching or engaging with football, not only through TV. So we need to really understand how many people are interested about La Liga. And to be honest, it's quite a challenge in terms of market research and consumer insights. That's the first thing. The second thing is how can we transfer this to value, to the investors, to the sponsors. The return on investment is calculated always on a media insight or point of view. But at the end, we need to speak about return on engagement rather than return on investment, because this is what the brands are looking for in today. So first challenge is audience. Digital. Today, this morning in a meeting, they were saying we have the ability today to connect with 3 billion people through digital devices, which is unique. It's a historical happening. So really, we need to engage, and we need to engage on a digital platform. We do it very strongly in Spain, but to be very honest, it's a challenge to do it outside. So we're working very toughly. There's a very strong digital team in La Liga that's working on that. We need to deliver and be present and deliver the experience of La Liga into the countries. It's fantastic to have 38 match days officially played in Spain in the Spanish stadiums, but we need to bring our players, we need to bring our teams, we need to bring our experience also into the different countries. Also in terms of one of the challenges there is the route to market. From Spain up to now, we've been very much focused and in our Spanish headquarters, waiting for the clients to come. Basically, our point is we need to go out, and we have proven by our offices in MENA and in China, then when we go out, there's a good sales. There's a demand for a platform like the one we have. So at the end, what we have to do is go out and sell. We need to be competitive. We need to be challenging the clients, or challenging us to change the type of offering we're doing. So this is also a very important point. And last but not least, also the challenge is the internal cannibalization we're doing in our route to market. Up to now, it was MediaPro, it was La Liga, it was different agencies selling different assets around La Liga. I think that one of the biggest achievements that the current management of La Liga is doing is to really centralize and collectivize and probably be the only football competition in the world where one brand can really be present in all La Liga through only one platform and don't need to go to different platforms. Now I think we believe it's the right time for La Liga. As you know, La Liga is changing. If the ones that were yesterday attending to the president's speech, you can see it. He's the one really changing La Liga, and all his team is backing that up. The fact that we centralize all the sales as of this season makes sense. Everything makes sense when you centralize, when you collectivize, and especially when the return, the revenues are increasing on that. The fact of being the only one, the only league that with a centralized marketing approach is also very important. And to be honest, everybody, with all respects, talks about the Premier League, but if you see the club's performance, especially last year, but also in the past 5 years, in the European competition, it's a no-brainer. It's always La Liga teams. The Champions League is a La Liga team. The Europa League is a La Liga team. We're always in semi-finals. And it's not only 2 clubs. It's always 2, 3, 4, which I think is very important. Also, the best players are playing in La Liga, which I think is also... There's a sales potential, like we say. There's big sales opportunities. The naming right is an issue, not an issue, it's an opportunity. The fact of Premier League not having a naming right anymore, I think will bring value to the second most relevant league like La Liga. We currently have a sponsor, Liga BBVA, with 1 year to go as the naming right. But I think in this international expansion, the value of the naming right of the competition will be stronger. Digital, CRM, TV assets, and as we saw, international football. These are exciting challenges that we're really about to take. The Champions League model, it's not because Philippe is there, but Philippe has participated with us in building this strategy. But it's true, what we want is less is more. We want a limited number of brands, global, but also regional. Exclusivity of the association right is key. So the fact of really bringing intangible values to La Liga is important. And basically a 360 degrees approach is what we're offering. So the strategy is the 3 steps. Today we're maximizing the revenues of the current assets that we have. We want to reinvest that into promotion of La Liga, into football programs, into digital, and then be able to reduce the numbers in a higher valued platform. So 4 strategies, very, very simple in terms of, one is reach. We need to expand the reach of La Liga, the scope, number of fans, TV audience, digital, consumers. We want to increase the return on investment for the sponsors that are associated to La Liga, so the tangible rights. So we need to bring more assets. We'll show you some examples of things we're doing. Intangible is also very important. What is the value of a brand being associated to La Liga? What does La Liga represent? We changed the brand. Now it's called La Liga. It used to be called LFP, but everybody called it La Liga. Now we also call it La Liga. What is the face of La Liga? What is the positioning? But then the 4th is what we today are announcing, which is a structure, and a very strong team, a top stars team, which is leading this La Liga International Marketing, led by Philippe, where Fernando and Sergio are also part of, which we're very proud that is going out to the market as of now. Just to finalize this point, showing two examples of things that we changed. TV broadcasting, we just sold the international TV rights. As part of that, we are including advertising presence for brands, not only on the on-screen graphics, but also along the broadcasting, as very similar to what the Champions League has done and has proven to be very successful. So that's one example. We'll see an example of one very specific brand really not only using this as a media investment, but also taking the content as part of their communication. So I think that's a pretty important step. I want to just finishing 2 videos. One is the beer brand, the beer sponsor of La Liga, which is Mau. You will see Fernando Torres. You will also see Alejandro Sanz, who is a very famous singer in Spain and in Latin America, which is a territory very important also for Mau. And basically how they are going to use all these new advertising spots that we're bringing. And the second one is, I think, one of the biggest innovation in terms of marketing assets in sports, which is the virtual replacement advertising. I don't know if you know about it. We want to show you a video from our partner Suponor, who is providing the technology. This is already a reality in La Liga since past year. This year, so we're bringing, we're replacing and doing very specific advertising for different countries. From the perimeter advertising, we're replacing advertising in function of the different feeds. I think this is a major breakthrough, and we're seeing now we're selling that to the market very successfully, and I would like to share that with you. So if we can see the videos.
¿Cuál es la Mau que mejor te ha salido?
Yo me acuerdo de una en la que Fernando estaba muy presente. Fernando, gracias. Dame un abrazo.
Yo recuerdo una después de aquel gol en Sudáfrica en el 2010.
La levanté también.
Pero qué bien, nos supo la cañita de después.
Sport is an expanding global phenomenon, with audiences growing in ever more regions, watching on a rich variety of screens and devices. DBR Live unleashes global sports potential, transforming traditional in-event advertising into a sophisticated digital media product. Digital billboard replacement from Suponor is unique, patented world-class technology, revolutionizing the sports world as part of the fabric of some of the most watched events on the planet. Our technology allows us to tailor the advertising content in different live video feeds of the same event for different audiences. And when the players, the ball, or anything obstructs the physical advertising, then our technology renders perfect images in real time. We can reach people in their home languages, tailoring messages to the different times of day or season, meaning brands always reach their target audiences. And because we are a replacement technology rather than purely a virtual one, we leave the in-stadium signage unchanged for fans at the event. Supernor is the one who can do all of this to the quality levels required in top-tier events. We integrate with broadcasters around the world to align content with international markets. So our partners have a ready-made dynamic digital media platform right at the heart of live sport. In the world of digital replacement, we can zoom to maximize brand value. We can work in bright sunlight. We are clearer than LED. We use real-time data to place ads and product messages at key moments of the game. We can integrate with existing marketing campaigns, aligning perimeter messaging with brands such as program sponsorship or TV around the event. And we even have the power to target unique individuals based on the online choices they make, ensuring the right message gets to the right audience and always at the right time. With DBR Live, Supernor takes up the challenge of global sports marketing, making premium content more dynamic and more digital, connecting fans and brands through the power and passion of sport.
Thank you, Adolfo. Thank you, Mario. And we don't have much time, and actually it's exciting to be able to talk to so many senior people about this exciting program, and so I'll try to be very concise, very concrete with some questions. Obviously, I'm very interested in knowing about Philippe's new role, and I mean, for you, with your vast experience in the Champions League, plus also the things that you've done afterwards, how is it like when you compare the product you used to market in the past and now you are to market La Liga? What would you say would be your challenges, and is there any similarity between what you were doing at UEFA and what you will be doing now for La Liga?
Well, I think that the similarity is that the product is a good one, and I think like any marketer, when you have a good product to start with, it helps. Mario said it very quickly. You know, we have the best clubs in the world, we have the best players in the world, and not only is the Spanish football the most technical and enjoyable to watch, it's also a football that wins. Just look at the UEFA index, look at the palmarès of last year, and as Mario said, you know, we have not only have two very successful teams in Champions League, but you've got also number 3, 4, 5 team in Spain, which is being successful on the European stage. So there's depth and width of quality. The Spanish academies keep on producing talent, so the product is excellent. Now, have you seen things like adapting the kickoff times to suit the needs from the various fan bases around the world, having something like DBR technology that allows us to actually send 6 different feeds in the world. We have a Spanish feed, but we have international feeds that would cater the needs for Asia, for China, for Latin America. Is some technicalities that are very supporting of a marketing program. So the challenge is big, definitely. The ambition is there. It's been clearly defined by President Tebas yesterday. Obviously, MENA and China were pilot projects that Mario and Adolfo set up a couple of years ago. I've actually been working with them for over a year on the consulting capacity to see could we duplicate or replicate the success, and is there legs for a dedicated company to take the challenge, and we've decided yes, we should go for it. And they've been I've been very fortunate that they asked me actually whether I would be keen on leading it, and I've accepted the challenge with gratefulness, because I think it's for me, for my experience being around for a while, as you know, Spanish Liga is the sleeping giant property in the industry. We know football is king. We know that the Premier League is far ahead of us as far as business is concerned, but there is no reason why in the coming years we can't catch up. I'm not saying we're going to go above them, because there are different specificities, but I think the Liga has got a very, very good potential to be high up with the likes of the Champions League and the Premier League.
And coming back to the kickoff time that you were talking about, obviously you're used to the centralized sort of single kickoff time of the 8:45 p.m. from the Champions League on Tuesday and Wednesdays, and also the competitor that you're talking about, the Premier League, has the kind of sacred kickoff time Saturday 3 p.m. I mean, I understand the fact that if you have different slots, you don't have each game competing with each other, right? But why do you think the other way, like the Premier League, most of the games on Saturday 3 p.m. is still good? Don't you think that some of the kickoff times sometimes have the risk of getting the fans staying at home and watching the game on TV?
Yeah, you kind of you cake and eat it at some point. I think this is a difficulty that Adolfo will face at La Liga, is to have kick-off time. Obviously, it's a Spanish competition. It has to feed the Spanish audience and the fans who've been there for generations. Having said that, having a kick-off time at 9 or 10 p.m. on a Sunday night is not always the best thing for an international audience. You're comparing apples and pears, because Champions League is a weekday match. And I live in Dubai now, as you know. And I'm actually very frustrated with my Champions League kickoff times, because it means that the match kicks off at 10 or 11 at night, and having a toddler at home who doesn't mind whether daddy has watched football or not, at 6 o'clock he's up in the morning. So I have, thank God I can record matches, but I'm not actually a big fan of not being in Europe anymore. I'm actually having an issue with the Champions kickoff time, whilst Premier League or Liga I can actually consume as I deem appropriate.
Mm-hmm. Good. And Fernando, tell us a little bit about your role within this structure. I mean, you're pretty much focused on the international football development programs. How is it like? Do you miss your football player life?
Yes, always. But actually, because we don't have too much time, and I try to explain very quickly, our international football development program. When we think it's better to give, before asking, and we come to the places to share our knowledge, And we're working in four points, Yes, the first point is scouting, to talent identification. We have example in Egypt, and through Pepsi, and with Abu Dhabi Sport Council, as Adolfo said. The second point is the La Liga technical schools. We have project in China. Okay. The third point is a Scout football development program we done in China and Middle East, with trainers, physical education through football, and competition models, festivals. The fourth point is the agreements with the leagues and federations. We deliver certification and technical staff training, and we give official titles, and we run special programs. And the five point, and very important, the CSR, teaching of values through football, We think this point is very, very important, because we reach agreement in the LATAM and OIG's organization Iberoamericana de Juventudes.
Good. So you were talking about scouting. Will we see soon a Middle East player scouted from this system playing for Barcelona, Real, Atletico?
We put the tools. We help, but at the end of the day, they improve a lot, in this market, but we try to help it to get this objective.
Good. So Sergio, on China, obviously for all of us, China has always been on one side a huge market that we want to capture, but on the other side also a huge challenge. And I would like to understand, how do you kind of market La Liga in China, and then also some of the information that we've seen from Adolfo's presentation, which caught my attention. Why is it that the Premier League has the audiences so low? Besides the growth that La Liga has experimented, we would see in there, I don't know if we can recuperate that slide, but that really caught my attention. The fact that both the Bundesliga, La Liga are all ahead of the EPL. Why do you think is that?
Well, I start for your second question. Basically, the difference that we had in the last years with EPL, together with Bundesliga, is that Bundesliga and La Liga were broadcasted in national TV in China, and EPL was not broadcasted in national TV. That's the fact that made us have this big gap of audience in relation with EPL. We are leading the audiences in China in the last year for first time, and the years before, if I don't remember wrong, it was Bundesliga, the one that was leading. Okay. And regarding your first questions, there are two things that can influence when you go into the market. No? First is what you can do with your product, and the second is the momentum of the market and momentum of the product. What we can do with the product, Adolfo and Mario explained very well, but in Chinese market, in the second point I was mentioning, we're living in a very good momentum for football. Chinese government is launching a series of policies to promote the football. There is a reform that affects the professional football, but also the amateur football. And all the momentum is positive for football properties. But additionally to that, La Liga has a very good momentum as well. We have like teams as Barcelona and Real Madrid, Atletico de Madrid, Sevilla, that are winning European competitions, we have the most popular players, and really it's a very good time for us to be in that market, and the market is responding very well in terms of brands that they want to associate with us, our sponsors. We're getting good regional sponsors, but as well the response from the fans. No?
Mm-hmm. Very good. And so Mario, you've been now in Dubai for how long? Like what, 3-4 years
Yeah,
already?
this is the 4th year. Yeah.
So we always keep on talking about the Premier League like the big competitor, right? And I guess the question, I mean, we've seen some of the ideas you guys have to close the gap and potentially beat the Premiership in the future. What about the other leagues? Is it like you don't consider Bundesliga a competitor, you don't consider Serie A a competitor? Or?
No, we do, and we do it very seriously. But it's true that normally, no, you challenge the leader, no, and in this sense, our benchmark is clearly, no, to challenge, no, the Premier League. But for example, Bundesliga is doing, to be very fair, very fantastic, no, international expansion. They have a fantastic domestic product, no, so it's full stadiums, no, the quality, you know, of the broadcasting is also good. The sponsorship, no, the domestic sponsorship, no, the Bundesliga is very strongly run by the clubs, no, mainly, and they're also, no, having an international expansion. The French league, no, I think the PSG effect, no, is going to be seen in the next coming years, and Serie A, no, is in a moment in which, no, from a very good position, no, they're trying to, no, balance, no, the situation and continue to grow. But at the end, football and European football is what makes a difference, no, in the international markets. So it's not that we're benchmarking or more than competing. I think we're benchmarking. We're looking at each other, what each other is doing. We need to be differentiated, no, to improve. But it's not only football. It's Formula One. It's any kind of sports, no. It's local. In India, we're competing with cricket. But football, as we yesterday in a presentation about India, we were amazed about the numbers, no. They were talking about the youth, how much the youth is engaging with football. So it's all the sports, it's all the properties, and with the digital environment, it's going to be, we're competing with other type of entertainment, no. So football is not only sports. I think European football, and this is where La Liga is pretty strong with best players and the best clubs. It's an entertaining, no. It's what do I watch today? No, I watch a football match, I watch a movie, no. So this is the type of competition I think we will face, especially in a digital fragmented world. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. We're running out of time. I just have a final question for Adolfo. I'm not sure if we then have time for questions from the audience, but just one final one for you, Adolfo. At my times in Barcelona, we would have La Liga on one side, and then Barcelona and Real Madrid our own way. You know, we would not kind of work together. How do you integrate Barcelona and Real Madrid into this program? Obviously, they are part of the show. They are part of the games that you're showing, but I guess also they are very aggressive with their commercial teams out there looking for sponsorship. Is it like they go their own way? Is it like you guys go together somehow? How do you integrate them in this program?
There's no easy answer for that. I mean, as you know from your experience, I think the scenario right now has changed because we sell centralized TV deals, and the money that we make goes to all the clubs. So we are together as a league working towards a project of making the league stronger. We had this morning a session with all the marketing directors from the clubs, and where we spoke about, we made this presentation but a bit bigger. We explained our plans, we listened to them. Obviously, big clubs like Madrid and Barcelona, they have a big structure. They are brands themselves bigger than ours. And we need to find a way where we can help each other. Because we are La Liga, we don't compete with the clubs. So we spoke this morning with the guys from FC Barcelona, and we spoke about we need to identify areas where we don't touch what they are doing, because we don't want to hurt their business, and areas where we can compensate each other, and areas where they are not developing, and where we can develop both La Liga brand and other clubs. So it's a fine balance. It's not an easy one, as you know, but there is a move in La Liga of working together towards the common goal.
So would it be fair to say that this format, on top of helping La Liga, is also meant to help the smaller clubs? I was talking, for instance, to Tony Alegre from Espanyol yesterday. He was very excited about, the introductions that you guys can make, not only for the revenues of this specific program, but probably for the revenues of each team individually, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the whole La Liga project, and starting from TV rights, and President was saying yesterday, 4 years ago, between Madrid and Barcelona and the smallest club in the first division, there was a difference of 1 to 12. Now, with the new split, it's going to be 1 to 3.5. So that shows that the small clubs will have more money, but we don't take away from the big clubs, because we guarantee the money they are making. And in terms of marketing, we explained this morning to all the clubs. I mean, this structure, these offices are meant for the clubs. If we do a school program in the US, we want the clubs to participate. So this is platform of making La Liga bigger, and by making La Liga bigger, we help the clubs getting bigger.
Or the friendly games, when you take all these teams abroad that probably on their own they could not identify opportunities overseas, right?
I mean, that's right. We launched 2 years ago what we call La Liga World Challenge, where we work from La Liga side with the clubs to sort of structure their pre-season games. So we don't go. We stop from clubs playing everywhere without a reason, for really targeting markets. So we played. We had Atletico Madrid in China this summer. We had Valencia in the US. So we're working and helping the clubs in finding the right promoters, and even helping with money to make sure they go to those markets.
Good, very good. All in all, very ambitious and very exciting. So good luck with all these plans. I'm not sure if we should go for questions. Is there anyone from the organization here, or can we take some questions here? There's a question here.
Plenty of questions.
Hello, I'm Harjas from the FIFA Master Program class of 2016. My question is mainly directed towards MediaPro. I was recently involved in the bid for MediaPro for the rights to La Liga in India, and you said India is a major player that you're looking to target. My question is mainly about the rights for this season. From next season, it was pretty clear during our bidding process that there'd be consolidated rights, but during the bidding process, there seemed to be some confusion as to a few of the clubs not being part of the bid, because I think Telefonica owned a few of the rights. Mm-hmm. So, do you think that was a glitch, or could that have been handled better, or is there something that you've planned for the future to avoid such a situation, which would help with the bidding process for broadcasters?
Yeah, no, I think it happened because basically, as you know, there was a law in Spain, that obliged the clubs not to centralize. Basically, it was a law, demanded by the clubs to regulate and centralize all the rights, but not as of this season, but as of next season. So Telefonica and MediaPro had a number of clubs. Telefonica had 4 clubs, the rest of the clubs with MediaPro. We agreed very quickly with La Liga to say, why should we wait one more season, So we gave the rights back, so we agreed with La Liga, so that La Liga could centralize. And when we started the bidding process, Telefonica did not agree, had not agreed yet, Before we ended the bidding process, Telefonica agreed with La Liga, so La Liga had all the rights. So it was a very punctual moment, But during the bidding process, this was arranged, so La Liga really had all the matches, And La Liga used it also as a pressure, also for Telefónica, no, to grant these rights to be centralized. So I think in the future it will not happen again because as of now, no, all the rights are owned, are property by La Liga, so all the rights are with La Liga, which I think it's a great achievement in terms of being able to advance it 1 year. Because if you wait for 1 year, perhaps you are number 2 or number 3 choice, no, for many broadcasters. And so we managed to be the number 1, no? We managed to ask the broadcasters, no, to sell the rights for, or to buy the rights for many years. So the achievement in terms of revenues have been very strong. Also, not only revenues, but also picking up the right broadcasters where we think that they are going to help us now grow in some markets. And definitely, I think the result in India is a very interesting, no? Although we had a good, no, platform, I think the fact of going with Sony, no, is going to enhance, no, also the engagement of us with India.
We have one final question here because we ran out of time actually. So this is the last question.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Joseph Vandelos. I'm an independent sports lawyer from Barcelona. My question is, in this race, the Premier League and La Liga for international TV revenues, expansion worldwide, have you considered the role of UEFA competitions? Have you neglected them somehow? You don't consider UEFA competitions as a possible threat to this expansion? Will UEFA allow you to do this? Because also you're taking part of this pie. Have you considered this?
Who is the question? For whom?
Well,
to anyone, it doesn't matter.
I can take it. I'm probably the best positioned guy to talk about what UEFA, or to think what UEFA may think. It's a free world. UEFA has got a competition which is the best club competition in the world. This is set clearly over 17 match week during a season. This is set precisely on weekdays to leave the weekends free for leagues to do their competition. Then the rest is up to the calendars. You know, Liga, Premier League, Serie A, Bundesliga, Liga. They all have their 38 match days during a competition. The days are set, and then may the best man win. So for the time being, the Premier League has been doing an amazing job over 20 years by being, starting before everybody, capitalizing on their, umpire and connection in most of the world, and doing a very, very, very good job. Traditionally, Liga was very strong in South America for historical reasons, but was not very active in other parts of the world. As Mario said, Bundesliga is doing a tremendous job by being very active outside the world. We just want to be part of it. We think we have an amazing product. The decision has been taken by the new president to go for centralized approach, which again, as a former UEFA marketing director, I could only recommend that centralization is the way forward for both broadcasting and commercial rights. Less is more. And these are good steps taken in order to help us to try to sell our product after that. Whether a broadcaster or sponsor wants to associate with football, with a league, with a club, with another sport. This is what capitalism is about.
Okay, good. We could spend here a lot of time, especially if we were to explain the last 2 months of TV rights negotiation in Spain. So well done, Mario, to summarize it in 3 minutes, because we know it was quite of a challenging time. Thank you very much, and good luck with this project.